And Ya'at welcome to our final session of day 3 of our 2021 Strengthening Navajo Families and Communities virtual conference. We will begin our PM session, our evening session, with words from President Jonathan Nez and First Lady Cecilia Nez.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for our 3-day virtual family conference for 2021. We do this at an annual basis, and it's always we always enjoy doing this because it brings a lot of good presenters out, and they get to present their knowledge, their talent, and get to share with you some some good things to know, and of course they try to build up some but yeah, and it's a variety of topics just to help out families and just our fellow relatives across Navajo Nation on everything from we had highway safety, Navajo clan system, positive parenting, covering technology, and then Miss Navajo Nation shared her road to becoming Miss Navajo Nation. I mean, just a whole variety of topics. And then College Bound Initiative, building family relationships. And as most of from the Office of First Lady and Second Lady, our focus has always been the home and the family. And so we want to encourage everybody to always remember, the home and the everything that happens in the home really sets the stage for how our children will, what kind of adults they'll be later on in life. So we just want to provide them with a childhood that is positive, that is just a loving, encouraging, supportive type of environment for them. So then as they get older, they can thrive. They'll go a long way in school, and we want them to be employed. And we also, of course, want them to have their own house and for them to pick up skills along the way on how to be a good how to be a good spouse and all of that. So this is thinking way ahead. I mean, if we really want to see change a generation from now, 2 generations down the road, those are some of the things that we would have to take upon ourselves to learn and to instill in our own home. So that's just I guess the perspective that I've always taken. So thank you again for joining us. I'm going to give it over to President now. And my clans. Che ya taba hanishna tliza sana bashish che na kaida na ida shinal do dashi che aro ashya hakon adi jen kot nchit ade nchit they did presentations nchit the hazneto kaida bitsado shi ta hui at so kareya shi kodo President nchit hadzi so like.
All right. Thank you, First Lady Cecilia and Second Lady Dottie, for a great 3 days of presentations strengthening Navajo families and communities. I know we had a virtual conference because of COVID-19. By the way, today we were in 70 plus cases in 24 hours. Yeah. Challenge you, those of you that are watching, to stay home this Labor Day weekend. Our presenters that presented, thank you so much. And we have one more. Don't go away, though. We have one more today, Youth Talking Circle, Chance Rush. Don't go away. We're just doing our thank you, our appreciation for the past 3 days. And when you enrolled in this conference, you had to fill out a registration form that had addresses on there.
I think so. It was on Eventbrite.
Is that on Eventbrite? I'm
Yes.
hoping that you shared your address, because the reason why I'm saying that is today was the first day we got these gators. These gators, uh, and we have the Navajo Nation flag on it, and we have the seal on it. And we want to send those to you all, those of you that registered. And if you don't know what a gator is, we're saying to double mask, and so this goes around your neck, and then you get um, your mask on, and then you just go ahead and put this over it, and make sure you either put the seal on this side so everybody knows you're from the Navajo Nation, or you can also put the flag on there too. So we'll send these out to you for joining us during these 3 days. Ado ada hosya kodo hanen hicho da liagi. Di e do ni hin ha hanne do ni hin an tinet ed. Di ni hin massan ni che ni na ani dan lene kida na an tine e di je kodo ni hicho kodalia e bedas ni do beda ni hit zil dole kung ni hik e ni hit nen hit sa nda iste le di yendiche a konde ni kodo andin hina nishtahalo konde khegi a konde kodoshi ni hik ni hina ba di a ishin khaishni ado edo a kodo ni jedo ni hina da stulda a konde dishin tageje anen hije kodaliagi na antin hije kodalia e pennache be hadainosne shikeiroshinna. With the 3 days of meetings and presentations, may it encourage you, may it inspire you, may it comfort you, especially during a time of Melissa Clyde, my brother Thomas Cody, and many others. Our own programs, uh, social department of Diné Education, Loop Elementary School, Dr. Chi, and many others. Navajo Division of Transportation, Evie, good job. Veterans Administration as well, James Werline. Raython, thank you. Navajo Telecommunication Regulatory Commission, Miss Navajo, Shandine Parrish. I think I said Social Services, and Chance Rush, and many others. Thank you so much for making this a great conference. And, let everybody know, because it's on our Facebook page. You can go back if you want to, share this with others, with your young person, your family members. Just look it up on our Facebook page and utilize that teaching, because that's who we are as Navajo. Much of the teaching, all of the teaching, will encourage us to be better uh, citizens, and just positive and better people. As I started 3 days ago of our opening session, I said, let's be careful of what we say. We are what we say. And remember what Grandma and Grandpa and Mom and Dad used to say. You got to be careful what you say. What comes out of your mouth and words is very powerful. It can encourage and it can lift people up. And it can also bring people down. But what we want to do is lift people up, encourage them. Let's get off this Facebook negativity. And I'll say that again, yeah. Don't let all that stuff that's happening around the Navajo Nation affect the way you think. These 3 days, utilize that positive thinking. Make some better choices for yourself, for your family, for your community, and of course for your nation. So here, Kodo ni hizado basoti. Kodo ni na antinigido. Here or if Kodo ni keni nevich ashana le ego ye hada lido le chana dan lido le. Ahot a hanen hichi kodeliado le. So First Lady and Second Lady, again, thank you for the work that you all are doing. You know, this is a partnership, a team effort. Vice President Myron Lizer and I, you know, we're out there. Like today, we did 2 bridge dedications this week, and with First Lady and Second Lady helping out with moving the nation forward. That's what you call partnership that helps each other out. So we appreciate First and Second Ladies for everything they're doing and they're going to do. But God bless you, and thank you so much. And I think we're going to be doing the youth talking circle pretty soon. Any concluding remarks, First Lady?
You know, I just really wanted to say thank you to the behind the scenes staff for the 3 days worth of conference. It's Sonia Begay and then Eli Leslie, who've been manning the station for past 2 days and all of today. We're almost there. But thank you to Casey Family Programs as well. They've always been a partner with us since the beginning of the term, and they've always partnered with the Navajo Nation and bringing resources out here even before this administration. So thank you to Casey Family Programs. And then of course all the division directors, thank you for always being a partner in everything that we do. And thank you again for joining us. And we're going to give this back to Sonia right now.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Eli. God bless you. God bless our great Navajo Nation.
Cody from Casey Family Programs to share a few words. Thomas?
Yeah, can you guys hear me? Yeah, say Thomas Cody once, yeah. As clans on slow tightness on the buses team. Na kaidine da se chedo ma ides gizin da senella. Ado loop day I you see na sha ado lay the Bennett side a nash nish Casey family program yeah a director and slow a so it gadesh nacha ako aja a bitten day nishiki a sit bit is dan leniki Dean Hikeya, United States, but it nini bekako a niha chinita ndahe bedbek a betade daba keda hatiniki nye a beka nature ha late chine hakwaden do dasla bek a on do dasla da de no a beka nature do beso da sa aban de nelako ado hokoda natzago do heit a beka do lo he beka do lo bek a nye jon nye adan hit need yn halen need linigi the nanny linido at a house ago blas dani at go it need it chine e the shan do da it's another shan do lay hard na no ein the Navajo Division of Social Service but it nigi e betendelish ado da huis a is e beka nature beka nature haki e um Niche codes, your tribal codes, policies, procedures, big out although staff development na dal niche it not aided although the response anadon he large nas lay on the hindate shoy ape dan ha lobby da in ha da okay da ha dit that is nil dit that is就da no de he ka na ja ko ha shin so ko je be ka ne ja ko di pagina ko chance rush well ya ko ko do ni ya ti do les ben ya ni shibet ni shike ni khalchne tilt ego islad ni Navajo nation do tis the nen law bitten del nish ko hashin so ko ni ka na lo chine hit yaltke khait chine a jo a man lead or a jen lead or the so khait a jo hit do nasko I gasko ik in al til do let no a quad you see but is has anige open net halen ha chinity kodo that is kaigo and das nisto da nas that is at between the hon nifiki a do bebe ka je go naste je go ape it's na wil na do let je go between na do let a ko na hikodo ha shin so ha jo na ha chine no set nikiti ne ha jo na ha chin be ka na ja dan nikiti ni ado ko kodo ni president ni ya ado ha jo a ya da jo shema Phyllis ishlnina the net ha jo be ya just yo so ni ha ya dole ado se chedo en hilne ado that no ka na ja ado ka ni hilla lanas nelo na so tkane blaho sato je shi benna ein hi sato hadit en ka di lo ado ka hit ni chesa that di no kodo shito deja Melissa Clyde a Azashi the Bensad Denver, Colorado, the native nation de Nichequade, Nichen as a halate on Navajo because he didn't need a chair. A quite a hot president Labakadi was social service director, Diana Neswick Gishi because he didn't need a chair. Joe had in Salah, a Joshin a hard she Kehwit in the Koeshi Kodo Hunsawan has zito le Ado Sanya Banadot As Kachidate Chance Rush Log in Ila. Sanya?
Good evening, and thank you again, Thomas, for being here with us this evening. We do have Mr. Chance Rush online right now. So if he's ready, we can turn the mic over to him.
Okay.
There you are.
Oh my goodness, guys. First of all, I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity. President Nez, I want to thank you for your words. Thomas Cody, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this. Sonia for reaching out. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, I want to thank you guys, and I do want to apologize. Hope everybody can see me okay. I was actually on my way home, had a nice shirt for tonight's presentation. We left Norman, Oklahoma. We got in an hour and a half pile up. Everything went to 2 lanes, and then everything bottleneck. It went to a 1 lane. So I had the privilege of sitting in traffic for about an hour and a half, doing absolutely nothing. So I just walked in the door about 5 minutes ago. Then I saw the web cam, however this goes. But again, I want to thank you for your words. Thank you for the leadership being here with us. Anybody out there listening? My name is Chance Rush. I come to you from beautiful Dallas, Texas. I make my home down here with my wife and our 7 kids, but 3 of them, 4 of them are scattered out, off to college or just growing up and doing whatever it may be. But I kind of sit back and I look at my home and some of the stuff that I was able to accomplish throughout my life, and I kind of sit back and I think about how did I get here almost, and how was I able to take on some of the responsibilities that have been you know uh, um, you know rewarded to my guests through Indian country. I remember, coming out a lot to the Navajo Nation with Wings of America. That's where it kind of all started for me. I used to run around with a guy named Brian Chi, also with the Martin twins over from Page. And so I've always had this. Thanks, Bill. Sorry. I've always had this opportunity, to. I've always had this opportunity to speak, and do these things. I remember one time I was out in Canyon de Chelly. I can't remember where that is, but I went out to Canyon de Chelly and I got lost down in Canyon de Chelly back in the day. And then I also remember coming out to Gallup, coming out to different various communities out there, through running. So as I get started with tonight's program, I remember about a couple of years ago, my mom came over, and I had this vision of relocating, trying something different, trying something new. And my mom sat there and she said, son, she said, who would ever thunk that you would turn out the way that you did? And growing up on the Standing Rock Indian Reservation, growing up in Fort Berthold, being illiterate when I was a young kid, kind of just growing up rough. 2 days ago, one of my kids was asking me if I had a nickname growing up, and I said, what, everybody at school used to call me Rewear, because I wore almost the same clothes every single day, because we didn't have a lot of money to have a lot of nice things. And I remember kids used to make fun of me, because I would wear the same shirt every other day, because I had 3 shirts, 2 pair of pants, a pair of shorts, and 1 pair of shoes for the school year. And I never accepted what people would say about me, just like a lot of you out there. People that they're going to treat you different now because of your success, because of where you came, how far you came in life. Now people have different attitudes toward you because you have established yourself, right? And that's why it's so important for all of us to treat people as when they were little all the way up until they're adults, right? And a lot of people that I come across with that bullied me when I was little, I run into them, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, the world in me wants to let them know who I am now, but the spirituality in me says continue to be an example. And that's one thing I want to encourage to each and every one of us out there, is that we treat people how they treat us. And I'm even talking about indigenous people, native people, Dene Nation, Dene people, whatever it may be. We treat people a certain way because they treat us a certain way. And it shouldn't be like that. That's what Europe taught us. That's what, that's not who we are. as indigenous people. You know, we're always supposed to be the ones at the forefront. Tonight, I want to tell you, man, it's an absolute privilege to be indigenous. It's an absolute privilege to be Native American, just like it should be an absolute privilege to be Dene, Navajo. It should be a privilege to work for the Navajo Nation, to serve the Navajo Nation, to be involved in Navajo communities. It's an absolute privilege. It should never be that, you know, people are a certain way, people act a certain way, and, you know, people don't like someone because of their last name. People may not like someone because of the family that they come from. It's an absolute privilege not only to be indigenous, but it's a privilege to be spiritual. It's a privilege to be a leader. It's a privilege to be an advocate. So as I was sitting there telling my kid a couple days ago that they used to call me Reware, you know, my daughter got up and she looked at me. She said, "You know what, Dad? I bet they don't call you that no more." And the world of me said, "I know, baby, you're right." But the spirituality of me said, "You know what? I've been blessed. Everybody on this platform tonight, we've all been blessed. But you know, one thing I want to encourage you to do is when you receive a blessing, continue to commit to that blessing. Continue to work on that blessing. Continue to allow that blessing to be part of your daily life, right? Here's an example. Like there's a lot of stuff, you know, that's on my shelf here, right? A lot of times when we receive a blessing, what we do is we get it, we enjoy it, we appreciate it, we're happy about it. But then what we do is we go and we put it on the shelf, right? And we say, "That's a nice blessing. I'm gonna keep that on my shelf." Well, what happens is things accumulate dust, and then sometimes things they they become forgotten almost, and they're just kind of up there for display. And sometimes, you know, they're not like we're not still in awe of it. We just like it because we received it, right? Now, and that's, you know, the outreach that I'm able to do through great programs, you know, and not just kind of just bragging out there, but you know, you know, good friends like Thomas Cody, good programs like the Casey Family Program, good programs like, you know, great communities like Navajo Nation, you know, all these blessings that all of us receive, and each and every one of you right here on this stream here, you know, think about it right now, a blessing that you've been given, you know, just recently, you know, and I want to encourage you to keep going with it and keep growing with it. But it's always important for all of us to stay humble. But I was just thinking about that the other day when my baby girl said, I bet they won't call you Rerun anymore." I never want to think of how I should treat people because they treat me, you know, and I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it that, you know, you know, before I got into this line of work, it would be like, well, you know, I don't talk to them because they don't talk to me. And I don't do stuff for them because they don't do stuff for me, you know? And that's why we are in the position that we are today in life, not just in any country, but in life, is because we only do things how people treat us. What I love about my outreach and what I love about my work is that I choose every single day, like everybody here, we all choose to be one of a kind. And when you make a commitment to be one of a kind, man, that's witnessing in itself. That's establishing yourself in itself. And the biggest one, that's wellness in itself. Let me rewind a couple years ago when I was sitting on that back patio with my mom, and when she said, "Who would have ever thunk that you would be in the position that you're in?" And then I was thinking, like, man, how many people can I name off that, you know, that you know, um, that were role models to me. And she said, "You, son, you knew that you could be here. You did." She said, "Because that's how it is in life. People have to know where they're going. Not their families, not their friends, not their mentors, but individuals. They have to know where they're going. They're the ones that have to believe in themselves." I'm not trying to like get all everything up in here, but that night, that night that my mom shared that with me, the next day she got in a car and she drove home, and she was killed in a car accident. And this is the only thing that I got from it. She went to Haskell, and I went to Haskell. This is the only thing I got from that auto accident. Now I'm not doing that because I want people to feel sorry for me. Because if you know me, like my brother Thomas knows me, I'm in a great place. I'm living a wonderful life. I'm doing wonderful things. And it's not because of where I live and what I've accomplished. I'm in a great place because I have an opportunity to make a difference. I have an opportunity to be an example, to be an encourager. I'm in a great place because my creator still looks and watches over me. Because I still hold on to my spirituality, still hold on to things. But sometimes I have to look up at this that stands up there, and I have to say and think, you know, our family leaves legacies for us to live up to. Our families have standards that we should all want to look up to. So every now and then I'll look up at that wrinkle, the dented up, twisted up license plate, and I think like, look what someone left for me to grow. You know, just like her mom, my grandma left something for her to learn and teach. I've been given some gifts to learn and teach, and every single person out there listening in, you've been given something great to teach. And it's not just, you know, motivational speakers, and it's not just the ones who, you know, have that opportunity to, you know, to share. Every single one of us has a great story that we can share with people. And that's one thing that I want to encourage to you, is to share things with people, you know. But as I was sitting, you know, with my mom that day when she said, "You did," it made me think, you know, like, how did I get here? How did I get here? And I thought that one of the reasons why I'm able to do a lot of really wonderful things is because of these different wellnesses that I've absorbed every day. And I want to share them with you today. Some of y'all may know them. I want to share some of these wellnesses. I'm going to ask you, you know, the first one is, you know, let's just say your spiritual wellness. Where are you at spiritually? On a scale of 1 to 10 right now, this tonight, the life that you've been living, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you spiritually? And if you want, you know, you could even, you know, put them in a chat or, you know, whatever it may be, you know, where are you at, you know, in your spiritual wellness? You know, is it kind of spiritual, but I don't really count on it. I don't really rely on it. I don't really focus in on it, you know. You got to think about that. Where's your spiritual wellness? Second one is your emotional wellness. You know, um, sometimes out here, man, we've got to be somewhat stern. You know, we have to be strong, right? With everything that's going on in our communities, you know, everything that we do see, you know, what indigenous people, what native people have been through. Look where we're still, you know, we're still standing, we're still existing, we're still operating. Try to kill us off, we're still at it, we're still going. Sometimes it gets tough, and which sometimes it leads us to take it out on each other, right? But where are we at in our emotional wellness? You know, Third one is our social wellness, you know. Um, and that one for me is still trying to, you know, I'm still trying to understand that, you know, like social wellness, you know, am I doing more? Am I advocating more? Am I advocating too much? Am I doing too much? Anybody that knows me, man, I'm always a go-getter. I'm always, you know, just at it, right? And sometimes you got to just sit back and kind of take a break and and you know, put yourself on pause, regroup, you know. And then another one is you know, where's your cultural wellness, right? I think that's one. Where's your cultural wellness at? You know, what do you mean, Chance, by cultural wellness? This one's kind of hard because culturally, as indigenous people, as native people, tribal people, we're supposed to take care of ourselves. And all those things are in cultural wellness. That even that physicalness, it's all in our cultural wellness. How well are we culturally? You know, and I'm not talking about long hair and chokers and knowing language and knowing songs, but like sharing them and being generous with them and exercising your generosity every single day. And you know, one that I really wanted to talk about, which kind of led up, is I feel the reason why I had that conversation with my mom before, um, you know, before she journeyed home was my environmental wellness. What type of, you know, what position do I put myself in every day? Who, you know, who I hang out with every day. Where do I hang out every day? Your environment, environmental wellness. And you know, every night before I go to sleep, it doesn't matter what it is. Every night before I go to sleep, every morning before when I wake up, I'll put things away. I turn into a neat freak. I put things away. I pick stuff up. Throw something in the washer. Something's in the dryer. I'll pull it out. I'll put it on the table. I'll start folding. It don't matter whose it belongs to, you know, because that's one thing I try to teach in my house is, you know, just take care of it. It don't matter whose it is. Take care of it. You know, whose clothes are these? Who's supposed to do the dishes? You know, I've always just did it. So every morning when I wake up, I'll straighten up the living room. Then I'll go into the kitchen. I'll make sure everything's good. I empty out all the trash. You know, people may think it's being a neat freak, but this is my environment. I got to take care of it because, and then, you know, every night before I go to bed, I'll always put a load of dishes in, put dishes up, put stuff away in the Tupperware or whatever that plastic stuff's called. Put it all away. Y'all remember them Tupperware parties? But you know, put stuff away. You know, leftovers, all good stuff. You know, and I put it away, and I'd sit there and be like, "Man, it looks good. This house looks good." And when I wake up in the morning, before I get on that Peloton or before I go out for that run, I look around my house, and my house is all straightened up. My office is all straightened up, and it makes me feel good. It gives me a good attitude. Your environment, you know, is always gonna give you that attitude. That your environment is always gonna make you feel that very special way. And every morning when I wake up, you know, and I you know, I kind of start getting ready for the day, or I'll try to start waking up my kids for school. I'll look around. I'll say, you know, this is why I'm happy, is because I've always took care of my environment. And whether that's get a plastic bag and go out and start picking up trash, even though it may not be your trash, you go out and you pick up trash. You know, you go and um, you know, you scrape. I don't know. I know you guys don't have snow out there like we do, but you know, you scrape not just your, you know, your sidewalk, but the sidewalk next door. You know, or you know, you just do different things. Your environment is so important because your environment changes attitudes. So when I was growing up, you know, I didn't have a lot of friends. because the environment that I could have gotten myself into probably wouldn't put me on the screen with you here tonight. I was real selective. I wanted to hang out with people that took care of their body, took care of themselves, took care of their grades, took care of their attitude. You know, was respectful to elders, that were respectful to our culture. I hung out with those type of people, and there wasn't that many of them. Everybody was too cool to be cool. And all these years, you know, my environmental wellness paid off. You know, and so some of the things that, you know, that I may get to do, and some of the things that I have in life, it's not because of luck, and it's not because of, you know, hard work. It's not because I earned it. I'll be honest with you. There's a couple reasons. One is because I took care of who I was growing up. I had faith. Spirituality was important for me growing up. My culture meant something for me, you know, me growing up. And that's how I kind of labeled all of them: cultural wellness, you know, spiritual wellness, environmental wellness. Is because when you're willing and you're obedient to what you want to be, it'll all show up and it'll all come together. Tonight, you know, it was kind of cool that, you know, two things. You know, I got to share this with you. You know, um, here's another crazy thing, man. I know we don't have a lot of time, and I want to apologize, but as we get out of here, you know, this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm not even, you know, doing this. You know, I'm not even doing this because of, you know, I just happen to be here. But you know, like, this is an envelope, right? Little envelope. You know, this whatever. But when my mom went home, and I'm not trying to get personal here, but you know, when my mom went home, it really made me think about like how important family is, and how important it is for all of us to not only honor our family members but represent them and be an example. Because my last name doesn't belong to me. Um, a legacy was passed on to me, and it's my responsibility. And that little girl who just left with my older daughter, um, I have to be an example for her. And she's got to carry on our responsibility. But when my mom went home, man, for a day or so, I was at the bottom of the world, man. My best friend left. Other than my wife, my best friend left. But let me tell you something about strengthening families. When she left, I felt that legacy just hit my heart, and I started to do things. But so, you know, I'm gonna get into stage plays. I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna try something new, try something different. I remember right before my mom passed, I was trying to go watch a stage play out in DC, and it was sold out. And it was called Sovereignty, and couldn't get in. It was written by one of my friends. I was trying to go that route. I was trying to have that kind of clout, and they were like, "No, it's sold out. I don't care who you're friends with. There's no seats available." So I flew back to Oklahoma. Man, after my mom passed, I would kind of just keep up with things and see what was going on and read different articles or something was written about her. And there was a calling that, you know, one of the audition callings or whatever, and they were saying, you know, we're bringing Sovereignty to Oklahoma, and we need some people to audition for it. So I went down and auditioned for it, and I was auditioning for this dude named Wadey because he didn't have a lot of parts, and he was a comedian in the stage play. And I got up there and I read my script. After I read that script, um, I was excited about having a small part. That's what I was going for. So I gave the script back, jumped in my car, and I was driving home. And the casting director was with the writer and one other important person. They were like, "Chance, we want you to come back and read this other script because you did a phenomenal job." So I turned around, went back, read the other script. About you know, a day later they called and they said, "Hey, Chance, you know, you got the lead role in this stage play." And I was panicking because I had to remember lines. The book was this thick. I had to learn all those lines in there. But I just heard my mom say, "You got this." And God would never put you in a situation that you weren't ready for. And that's the message I want to leave with you tonight. Creator, Heavenly Father, God, Tukanshla, however you call him, is not going to put you in a situation that you can't take on and deliver something great. Family is faith. Family is fortune. Family is fun. You know, family is for real. You know, so it just really hit me. It made me think what my mom said in that voice, like, you got this, because God will never put anything in your way that you can't handle. So I took that and I said, okay, I'm gonna be an actor. So I went down and did the play. Then this one lady was like, "Man, you're real good at what you do. You should audition for movies." So I started to audition for some movies, and I got told no, 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 no. How many of you guys ever been through that where they tell you no, but you don't give up, right? Because we've all been there. Every single person, you've been rejected. Think about a lot of our loved ones that once they get rejected, that's it. Think a lot of people that we know, once they get rejected, that's it. And man, I auditioned for Stillwater, got rejected. Lawnmower, got rejected. Yellowstone, whatever it's called, got rejected. Just auditioned for Reservation Dogs, got rejected. Then auditioned for this movie called Gray Horses, based off of a book called Killers of the Flower Moon about the Osage Indian. I auditioned for it. And even though everybody else told me no, this was the only film that told me yes. So I got a part in this movie, and it's going to come out in 2022. And it's a Martin Scorsese film. And I got to be on the set with him. I got to work with all those guys. I'm not an extra. You know, in the movie, my name is Bill Stepson. I'm a former bronc rider. But after I did that movie and had a couple scenes with Leonardo, had a scene that's on my own, came back down here and I regrouped. Came in, shut these doors, and I regrouped. And you know, I keep getting phone calls to audition for different movies, which leads to tonight. My wife hasn't seen this. None of my brothers and sisters have seen this, because sometimes God puts you in situations that you just have to deliver. There may not be a lot of people, but you're still supposed to deliver as if there were 1,000. And that's how a lot of it is in Indian country, is that we step up when a bunch of people are watching. But when just a few are watching, we kind of lax off a little bit. But real leadership, frontline leadership, ones that are called to do great things, ones that exercise their cultural and their spiritual and their environmental wellness, man, they step up to the plate if a handful of people are there. So tonight, man, only because we're all here together, it's crazy. This is a brand new envelope. I got this from Los Angeles, California, and it says SAG-AFTRA. And they're here to tell me if I'm accepted or not accepted. And check that out. Still on the thing. It says SAG accepted. I've been waiting my whole life for this card. And I may not have 100, 200 people tonight, but I waited my whole life for this. And this comes from my mom's upbringing. This comes from my mom's memory. This comes from me representing my family. And that's one thing that I want to encourage to all of us. To all of us. I waited my whole life to do something like this. And I'm not sitting here trying to make this about me. I'm just doing this because all this is in the moment. This is what I had on my desk and a computer screen, and you know, my friends here to talk to celebrate this moment. I waited my whole life to do this. I'm not at a dinner with my family. I'm right here because here's the thing. We have to be ready to present anything and everything to our families. And sometimes you have to just come together with those people who are in the moment, just to remind each and every one of, to remind each other how important it is, the hard work that you're doing. So I'm so grateful, man. I'm thankful, man. I can't believe it. Can't believe I, you know, had the opportunity to do something like this. I know you guys had a long day, and I want to thank you guys for letting me, you know, come on and share and just kind of talk about that, you know, that environmental wellness. And I remember um, in the 8th grade, I had to pick up a book and I had to learn how to read on my own. And to read all these lines and to just, you know, go against all odds, like that's what makes me want to read every single day. I pick up a book, I read every day because when I learned something at a young age because of the influence of my mom and my family and the legacy that my family leaves, like I want to do better. I want to be better. And our children should want to be better. And then our grandchildren should want to do better than how we are now. But I'm always reading. Man, this is funny, and I'll let y'all go. I just like to talk a lot. This is kind of funny. When I moved down here, we built this house. We had this house built. We moved down here, and I'm just full time. All I'm doing is auditioning for movies, full time actor, whatever it may be. But watch for that movie, Gray Horse. Look for Bill Stepson. You'll see Chance Rush on the credits. But anyway, before we get out of here, when I moved down here, my former coach called me up and he said, "Hey man, I heard you live in Frisco now." I said, "Yep." He said, "Man," he goes, what's your address so I can punch it up to see how far you live from me?" Because he lives down here, and he punched that. He's like, "Wow." He said, "You live over in the new area." He goes, "How'd you find that?" And I said, all God, because that's the truth. Anyway, he said, "Well, I'm sitting here with my wife." His wife is the one that wouldn't teach me how to read. His wife was the one that would make fun of me in the classroom because I couldn't read. And she was on speaker and she said, "Wow, Chance." She's like, "You know, this is," you know, she told me her name. I don't want to disrespect her. She told me her name. And she goes, "Wow, so you live in Frisco?" I said, "Yep." She goes, "Wow, how did you pull that off?" And I took it like, I didn't take it like trying to go off on her and, you know, "Oh, you still don't believe," but I took it like this because because I took care of myself at a young age, I was able to do this. And that's one thing, you know, we just need to pass on to other people. Is when you take care of yourself and you always take care of yourself, you're going to be rewarded. So, with that being said, man, I want to apologize for blabbing too much about me and not enough about, you know, strengthening our families. I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to come on tonight. And is there any questions or whatever it may be? If not, Sonia, I'm gonna turn it back over to you. Thomas, thank you for filling in for me real quick. I do apologize. I just got in from moving my daughter into her dorm up at University of Oklahoma. So, that being said, I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Thank you, Chance, for being able to be here with us this evening and sharing your words. We really appreciate it. So, with that, everyone, thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you for supporting us and tuning in. That concludes our 2021 Strengthening Navajo Families and Communities virtual conference. We look forward to future events um, and getting back out in the public when it's safe. So please continue to wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance,